nagtanong na sa akin and once in a while may mga nag-i-email pa rin at nagme-message at tinatanong nila, "Sir, tulungan nyo naman ako kung paano mag-plan or mag-prepare to retire or to come back in the Philippines." So itong mga nagtatanong na to, mga OFWs, no? And ang pag-usapan natin is precisely that. So how do you prepare for a secure and safe retirement as an OFW? Paano nga ba? No? Marami akong kilalang OFW na pumunta sa ibang bansa para magtrabaho, para makapag-ipon. And initially, ang balak nila, 5 years lang silang mag-work abroad. Pero hindi nakaipon, hindi nakakapagplano kung paano sila babalik sa Pilipinas. And lumipas yung mga taon, na-realize sila, 10 years, 15 years na sila na nandun. Meron namang mga OFWs na, yes, nakaipon, umuwi, pero na-realize sila na hindi sapat yung naipon nila or hindi enough yung naging preparation nila. Kaya after 2-3 years, bumalik din sila abroad at nagtrabaho ulit sa ibang bansa. So, paano natin ma-prevent or ma-avoid yung mga ganong circumstances? How do you prepare to come back home? So, hindi lang to simple na retirement na as in kasi senior citizen ka na, mag-retire ka na sa Pilipinas. But basically, paano ka makaka-uwi for good? Yun yung term nila, no? Paano ka magfo-for good sa Pilipinas? Paano ka makaka-uwi, makakabalik ulit sa Pilipinas at magsistay ka na ulit kasama ng pamilya mo? Before I discuss yung mga strategies, actually tatlo lang naman yung points natin, I want to remind everyone na ang ibibigay ko sa inyo ay general advice. And as always, meron tayong mga options na hindi ko masasabi. There are always other options available to you. There are always opportunities that we may not be able to discuss today na yung pala, yun yung okay na plano para sa'yo. Personal finance is personal. So, kung ano man yung ma-discuss natin ngayon, I hope you use it as a guide but not really a strict plan. Itong ibibigay kong general advice, this has worked for a good number of OFWs that I know, and I believe na makakatulong ito sa inyo para mas magkaroon kayo ng direction on how do you finally on how you can finally be able to come back home. Okay? So, our first tip for OFWs is to start with the end in mind. Ano yung klaseng retirement ang gusto mo? What kind of retirement are you envisioning for yourself? Again, pag sinabi kong retirement, this does not necessarily mean yung senior citizen ka na, 60 ka na, uwi ka ng Pilipinas. Hindi ganong klaseng retirement lang. Pwedeng ito yung retirement na yung magfo-for good ka na sa Pilipinas at sa Pilipinas ka na ulit, magkukontinue na magtrabaho. So start with the end in mind. Pag umuwi ka, anong gagawin mo? Ano yung lifestyle na gusto mong ma-maintain? Isipin mo, pag uwi mo sa Pilipinas, maghahanap ka ba ulit ng trabaho? Or magnenegosyo ka na lang? Pag umuwi ka sa Pilipinas, ayaw mo na ba talaga mag-work? Tipong you'll just enjoy your retirement? Saan ka titira? Ano yung magiging usual routine mo? So, imagine that lifestyle. Ano yung ideal? I would say ideal lifestyle. And more particularly, think of your sources of income. Pag uwi mo, saan ka kukuha ng pera? Mag-iipon ka lang ba talaga ng maraming pera? So pag uwi mo, yun na lang, doon ka na lang kumukuha? Or are you going to real estate? So one of the more popular options that OFWs go to or take is investing in real estate, particularly mga rental properties, para pag uwi nila, yung mga paupahan nila, doon sila kumukuha ng cash flow. On the other hand, some OFWs, they opt to start a business. So pwede kang magnegosyo, pag uwi mo, yun na ngayon yung aasikasuhin mo. These are the two most popular options for OFWs pag umuwi na sa Pilipinas. Either marami silang mga naipon na paupahan or nagninegosyo sila. May mga ibang OFWs, they go into freelancing. May iba na naghahanap ng trabaho. Some of them, especially yung mga professionals, they go into consulting, they put up their own firm, which is basically putting up their own business. So aside from the lifestyle, consider ano yung magiging source of income ko pag uwi ko. Maganda na meron tayong source of income kasi syempre, hindi natin alam kung anong mangyayari. Pwedeng yung naipon natin, akala natin enough na yon hanggang sa mamatay tayo, pero more often than not, because of inflation, other unforeseen circumstances, baka maubos, di ba? Especially as we grow older, tumataas din yung ating mga medical bills, may mga maintenance medicines na tayo, etc. So it's always good to have a source of income when you come home. So start with the end in mind. Ano yung gusto mong lifestyle pag uwi mo at saan ka kukuha ng pera? Can you choose both? Definitely pwede, but for the sake of focus, mas maganda na isa lang muna yung piliin mo. Kung gusto mo ng rental property, doon ka na lang muna magbuhos ng time and energy in building. Tapos siguro pag uwi mo, tsaka ka mag-start ng sarili mong business. Some people, they focus on being an entrepreneur. So magninegosyo muna sila. Pag uwi nila, yung kinikita nila sa negosyo, yun ngayon yung ginagawa nilang capital to buy properties, rental properties. Pwede nyo definitely gawin pareho, but my advice is to choose one first and focus on that. The second tip is to calculate how much you'll need and estimate the future costs. So magkano yung kailangan mo para magawa yung plano na yon? Magkano yung kailangan mong cash flow para magawa yung lifestyle na gusto mo? Siyempre, this will all be happening in the future, but ang starting point is to calculate how much it will cost today. So, considering na kung ngayon yan mangyayari, kung ngayon ka mag-retire or ngayon ka uuwi sa Pilipinas, magkano yung magiging cost ng lifestyle mo? Magkano yung magiging gastos mo monthly? Tapos, magkano yung magiging gastos mo annually? Bakit may monthly and annual? So, you have to consider na may mga gastos tayo na hindi monthly. For example, amilyar ng lupa, registration ng kotse, etc. So, meron kang monthly costs, tapos meron ka ring annual costs, which is yung monthly expenses mo times 12 plus yung mga irregular expenses. So, compute nyo yan kung ngayon nyo gagawin. Kung ngayon kayo mag-retire, magkano yung magiging number ninyo. And then once you get the number, you have to estimate kailan mo babalak mag-retire. Let's say na in 10 years time, mo balak umuwi ng Pilipinas. So meron tayong simple na formula. Yung cost mo, i-times mo ng 1.03 raised to the n power. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Basically, you're considering 3% as the average year-on-year inflation ng cost of living mo. Tapos, kaya siya raised to the power of n. Yung n is yung number of years kung kailan ka mag-retire. So, for example, na-compute mo na ang comfortable na monthly cost mo to do the lifestyle that you want for your retirement is 80,000 pesos a month ngayon. Tapos, plano mo mag-retire 10 years from now. So, yung 80,000 times 1.03 raised to the 10th power, yung makukuha nyong sagot doon, yun yung magiging target na monthly income ninyo. Compute nga natin, 80,000 times, yan, bigla kong binuksan yung calculator ko, 1.03 raised to the 10th power, so 107,000. So, isarado na lang natin ng 108,000. Ibig sabihin, kung comfortable sa'yo yung 80,000 pesos a month, 10 years from now, ang kakailanganin mo is 108,000 a month na. So again, 3% ang ginamit natin na annual inflation. So meron tayong projection. You have your monthly cost at saka yung annual cost. Again, once you project yung future costs mo, na-estimate mo na, yung monthly number, yun yung income target mo, BGH. Ano yung BGH? Before going home. So, sinorkat na lang natin. Yung monthly number, yun yung income target before going home. Which means, yung rental properties mo, kung ito-total mo yung monthly income mo from your rental properties, dapat equal or greater than the monthly target mo, yung income target mo. Kanina doon sa example natin, yung 80,000 ngayon is 108,000 10 years from now. So kung bibili ka ng mga rental properties, once na umabot ng 108,000 pesos a month yung nakakabig mo na renta doon sa mga properties mo, then you can go home already. Kasi magagawa mo na yung dream lifestyle mo. Yung sinet mo na goal for yourself na lifestyle. Pero, kailangan meron tayong contingency. Anong ibig sabihin? Kaya ako pinakompute yung annual cost ng iyong lifestyle kasi ipoproject mo din yan. Ipoproject mo din 10 years from now. Tapos, yun yung ating target na savings before going home. Kasi pag galing ibang bansa tapos bumalik ng Pilipinas, hindi naman yan instant na hindi rin ganun kadali. Marami kang aasikasuhin, may mga errands ka, may mga isi-set up ka for yourself, etc. So, it would be a good idea to have funds good for 1 year. So, isang taon na gastos mo nakatabi as savings so that when you finally go home, hindi mo na iisipin yung gastos mo for the next 12 months. And you can now focus on establishing your income, settling down, and executing yung mga ibang plano mo. So you have two numbers to think about, yung monthly income tsaka yung annual savings. I-compute nyo magkano siya kung ngayon nyo gagawin. Tapos i-project nyo into the future. Use yung 3% as the inflation rate. I think that's a safe number to use. So now, alam nyo na kung magkano yung numbers na target ninyo. I always say that you cannot hit a target that you do not see. So ngayon, alam nyo na, nakikita nyo na yung target number ninyo. Mas madali na ngayon magplano. So once you have those two numbers, of course, the next step is to develop a plan to achieve them. Develop a plan to achieve those two numbers. If you're going to real estate, ang pwede mong gawing plano is to start building your property portfolio. You're planning to go home 10 years time, hindi ibig sabihin on the 10th year ka palang mamimili. It would be a good idea for you to have experience already to build your network in the real estate industry already. You can buy a smaller property just for you to experience ano ba yung steps, ano ba yung processes of buying a property in the Philippines, di ba? Tapos pwede mo na siyang i-flip or you can leverage that property to get a loan so that you can buy more properties para on the 10th year, you have a substantial portfolio already and hopefully, na-hit mo na yung target numbers mo. So, if you decide to focus on real estate, you can now spend your time and energy in learning about the real estate industry and perhaps acquiring properties already. Kung balak mo naman mag-business, you can now start thinking about good business ideas. Ano ba yung mga negosyo na gusto mong pasukin? Ang first decision na kailangan mong isipin ay, are you going to build your own business or magpa-franchise ka ba? From observation, mas preferred ng mga OFWs yung mag-franchise. And somehow I would agree because sa franchising, there is less planning. I would dare say there are less mistakes kasi meron ka ng manual na susundin kung paano itatayo yung negosyo. Meron kang mother franchisor na company na mag-guide sa'yo. The next question that you have to ask is, are you going to build or start a business before going home or after going home? Kung ako yung tatanungin nyo, I would prefer na simulan nyo yung business before kayo umuwi. And then, pag nahihit na nung business nyo yung target monthly income, then dun kayo umuwi. That is usually possible if you get a franchise. So, pwede kayo mag-franchise ng business. You will probably assign one of your family members or a relative to manage the business. So, habang tumatakbo na yung negosyo, hopefully it will grow. Pag okay na yung business, na-hit niya na yung monthly income na target mo, and nakapag-ipon ka na rin ng target savings mo, then that's when you come home. Paano kung ang gusto mo ay magtayo ng sariling negosyo? Then, dito magiging helpful yung annual savings na target natin. Kasi, at this point, you have to research and learn and study yung planned business mo. Ngayon, if you think that you can safely start a business before going home, meron kang trusted na family member or friend na pwedeng magtayo ng negosyo kahit na nasa ibang bansa ka, then go ahead. But from observation, mas maganda na itayo mo yung negosyo mo pag uwi mo. So, dun magiging helpful yung 1 year's worth of expenses na inipon mo. So, pag uwi mo, hindi mo na iisipin saan ka kukuha ng pera sa mga gastos mo for the next 12 months, di ba? And dala-dala mo na yung capital na kailangan mo to start the business that you are planning. So, pwede mo na ngayon itayo yung negosyo mo with all your time and energy. Okay? So, those are the strategies if you are planning to go into business. So remember, life is full of twists and turns. Don't expect things to go smoothly as planned. Circumstances change, priorities change. One event, one decision, one moment could totally change your life and make your plans useless, and that's okay. At the end of the day, having a roadmap is better than having none. And when things don't go our way, we can always adjust, rebalance, and come up with a new plan. Life is challenging and exciting that way. So, gumawa tayo ng plano. Don't expect na perfect yung plano natin. As the years go by, as the years come, pwede mag-iba yung priorities natin. May mga pwedeng ibang mangyari. May iba yung plano natin. So, i-expect nyo na yon para hindi kayo ma-frustrate. Always remember na pwede namang baguhin yung plano. Pwedeng i-edit, pwedeng palitan, pwedeng mag-pivot. No? Yan yung term natin sa business. No? Mag-pivot tayo. Ito yung plano natin, tapos nag-pivot tayo kasi may nakita tayong mas maganda na option. So, expect that that will happen. Again, it's better to have a roadmap rather than just going on blindly. Yun yung nangyayari sa mga OFWs na nakakausap ko. Ang iniisip lang nila, mag-iipon, tapos uuwi. So kulang, incomplete yung plano nila. It's always better to have a more detailed strategy, a plan, kung ano yung mga milestones, ano yung mga numbers na tinatarget mo na magbibigay sa'yo ng signal na, okay, this is now the time for me to come back home. Oras na para mag for good.